What do you mean?
You have the waterfall running or something?
I don't have anything. I hear that, but I don't have anything.
You got some spirits up in there with you?
Of course, always.
Well, we're live, so we'll have to work with it. Hello, fam. Come on in. It's the Oracle and the Ace Man on a spiritual Sunday. And we got some snow last overnight and today. It's
Right
starting
on.
to it's starting to come down here, and it's a little different. I thought we were gonna get through. I guess we should be thankful that we didn't get any snow um, up until now. So,
We live in
what do you think?
Cleveland, so anything's possible.
Yeah, but I don't like the. I don't mind the cold. I just don't like the snow. I don't like when the snow sticks. It looks real cool on the trees though.
Yeah, it does.
And this is going to be the first year where I'm going to explore walking in the snow in nature. You've done that forever though, right?
Right.
What's that like? What is that like?
It is so cool. It's a different experience than if you do it in the spring or the summer. As you're walking, if like when I'm in nature, nature and I become one, and it's very like leaving the planet almost for me is very soothing. You become one with nature, and so um, you hear a lot of um, things going on underneath the earth as you're walking. Nature is asleep on the outside, but underneath you still feel,
So
things
you feel
going
the
on.
energy coming up through your feet?
I do. It is phenomenal.
Hey, Haga, and please forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. But thanks for joining. I think you had mentioned you were from, I forgot, but I don't want to misspeak. But thanks for being with us. We're here with the Oracle and myself, and thanks for hanging out. So, Annette, going back to, okay, so you can feel the earth coming up through your feet. Like, is it the energy or you feel the vibration? Like, what is that
I
about?
feel all of it. I feel it's hard to explain in English. No, I can talk about it in my alien language. But it feels like tingling in the feet as you're walking. You feel the vibration. It feels, if you really are in nature and you close your eyes, it's like nature is actually talking to you. Nature is actually um, communicating with you because you're one with that. I'm one of those people who hug on the trees, and the energy from the trees that you feel in wintertime is totally different than what I feel in the springtime. So it's really interesting. It causes a unity for me. I just feel like I'm one with the whole planet.
So when you are feeling this vibration, so okay, so you're in, it's winter time, just to let everybody know. Are you on cement or are you in the woods when you're
I'm
feeling
a
it?
woods person. I
So
have
you're
to get to
traveling in
cement to
between the
get there.
woods.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're
I
traveling.
actually go off path.
So you feel it more when you're walking in the woods on the earth, or you feel it both when you're walking like a trail? Like some of these parks have trails. You feel it when you're walking a trail, or is there a difference in the feeling?
I feel it with both. There's a difference on concrete than if you were walking on like tar, but
Okay.
it's a totally different if you're walking actually in the grass aspect of the woods.
Wow. I don't think I felt that. I experimented walking barefoot this summer, which was kind of
Mhm.
unique. You got Ace out here barefoot talking to the grass. That was a totally different feeling. And at times I can feel the energy from the
Mhm.
planet go through the bottom of my feet.
Right.
Um, and it's a sensation that sometimes, not every time, that stayed with me like several hours later. I didn't know
Mhm.
what it was, but I knew it was good for me. It either helped ground me or it was balancing me. But you're saying that even walking in the winter, as you're navigating through the trails and the hills, you can still feel the energy.
Yeah.
Um, Now, do you only feel or do you hear?
Depending on what I'm going to nature for. Sometimes I go out in nature just to be one with everything. At that point, I hear everything. You hear the birds. I mean, it's almost like nature is just saying, "Hey, we're here. We're glad you're here." The whole thing. If I'm going there because I need to release some energy, I've had a long day, I go there, then there's a different energy. I don't hear, but I feel like nature is just pulling everything out of me that I no longer need.
Wow. And Hegel, thanks for the award. And she also says she feels the same energy under her feet and glad to
Mm-hmm.
be here. Thank you for being here. Truly appreciate it. Um, I had an experience that I'm going to share here for the first time since we're talking about all these woodsy stuff. And I think I told you I had went walking. It was in the Bedford Parks, and I got lost. It
Mm-hmm.
got dark, and I got lost. I truly feel that in some way the trees guided me back. I had no idea where I was. And yes, I was afraid because I don't deal with dark in the woods. Like, what are we talking about? I had no, you know what? I'm trying to remember. Did I have my cell phone on me? Because most of the times when I do this, I don't even have my phone with me. I don't think I have my phone on with me. And I think the woods guided me back in some strange way. It's my first time admitting it because when it happened, I was too afraid to give them credit. I think I was a combination of afraid and upset, but I think that's a sign of nature talking to me, just guiding
Mm-hmm.
me. And I think that I found that in nature, I get a lot of signs and signals that help me through things. Do you find that you often get answers when you're out in nature to particular situations that you're dealing with or questions that you don't have answers to? Do you find that you find a lot of your answers out there?
More in nature than I do when I'm somewhere. When I go out in nature, I hear as I get solutions. Um, it is for me. Nature just becomes my best friend and leads me and guides me into different things that I'm looking for. The other thing is the animals. I have a book, it's called Animal Speaks, and a lot of times when I'm in nature, I may see one during COVID. It was interesting. During COVID, I was out in nature because I could get away, and um, a orange gecko showed up. Now I have not seen a gecko in Cleveland, let alone an orange one. And so I know they were saying because so many people were inside that nature was able to start healing itself. And so I went to my animal speak book to look up what the message of the gecko has. Because what happens is a lot of times you've asked for answers for things and you're not listening for it. And so, what will happen is nature will send messages. So, I saw the gecko. The other day, I was driving and I saw 11 deer. And
Oh,
so I immediately went to the animal speak books, and that book will say, when you see a deer, this is the message from the deer. So nature will talk you in several different ways. And seeing hawks, I see hawks a lot. The wolves are one of my totem, so I'm very connected to that aspect of who I am. And so everything is talking to us, just depends on if we're listening.
What's the longest you've ever stayed in the woods?
Well, I've like got a cabin in the woods, so
No, I'm talking about not like okay, not so much overnight. I'm talking about just out there in the wild.
probably 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. I don't think I've done 4 to 5 hours. I think I've done maybe two or three. Um, I remember when sometimes when I'm in the woods and you look at it, you think it's a bunch of chaos, but it's not. It's really everything is designed, even like the fallen trees, um, things that may be decaying. It's kind of like everything is just all working together. Um, and only God knows what's going on beneath our feet, with
Right.
all the roots and how the trees communicate with each other and the grass. I mean, that's an entire planetary system that we don't know much about. I don't know much about at all.
But the
So
thing about it, think about it, that's the way we should be operating as humans.
talk more on that.
So, as we, you know, I come here for, I have my purpose, you have your purpose, everyone has their purpose. And if we align with that, then I call it, my family. We attract each other to do the things that we came here to do. And so nature is just a perfect example of unity and love and allowing things to be what it is and allowing people to be who they are.
So when you look at the four seasons of nature, what comes to your mind? Like we're in the winter, what does winter represent to you? What does spring represent? Fall, summer?
So for me, because we live in Cleveland, in September, which is the fall, part of the fall, there's things that I start doing to prepare for the season. So in fall, if you think about the seasons, that the fall season, the leaves are dropping to the ground, different things. So I believe that as people, we need to follow the seasons for our own health, not just physically, mentally, and everything. And so in the fall, things that no longer serve us are dying off, just like the leaves are falling off the trees, the flowers are, going away, falling away. And so, and because we live in Cleveland, Ohio, um, it starts getting darker here sooner. I'm a July baby. I'm a sun baby. And so I know for myself in September, I have to start preparing my body for the winter, which winter, what does winter do? Winter goes to sleep. It's a hibernation time. So in the fall time, I start taking extra vitamin D because there's not a lot of sun here. I start taking extra vitamin C, and then because of the winter, I start doing things to build up my immune system so that I can be healthy during the winter time. When winter comes, I get up earlier because it's lighter earlier. So by the time I get home, my body starts automatically shutting down because it's dark outside. And
So you
so I
pretty
go ahead.
So you pretty much, so as the seasons change, you go through a preparation for yourself to align yourself pretty much with how nature's operating,
Yes,
and you just latch onto that.
yes, and I always have.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Like in the like now and going into the winter time, I have to eat warm foods. Very seldom in the wintertime you're going to see me with a salad because the salad is cold. I do a lot of warm water with lemon. I have to have warming foods in the fall and the wintertime.
Hmm.
Soups. I do soups. I do more of the girth type of foods. The other day I made chili, you know. So there's things that I do as far as the food, as far as my sleep habits. Even I make a cayenne pepper with castor oil mixture,
Okay.
and I put that on my feet in the wintertime because it's warming for me. And so each season I have a preparation, in last month I did a detox because I don't want to go into the winter with toxins and stuff. I want to have my body so it can heal itself, it can do what it does in the wintertime. I try to do, when coming out of the winter for spring, I'll do another detox. And
Okay.
so each season, I have things that I do for myself. In the summertime, I can eat all the salad I want. I can eat pineapples and mangoes and different things. I can't eat that now. Number one, it's a fruit that's out of season for us.
Right.
So even with the foods, I eat the foods that are seasonal foods for each season.
There's just so much we can learn from nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, I didn't have the appreciation for nature like I do now. I mean, even 10 years back, it was, I was walking into it, but it's nothing like it is now. I'm not hugging trees just yet, but I am listening. I am tuning in. I'm even taking some looks from animals. That's new for me. A couple blue jays,
Mm-hmm.
fox, and I can see the interaction with nature a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
really can. Seen a lot of. I think you told me they weren't caterpillars; they were black and orange.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are those? I think I forgot the
Um,
name you gave me.
I forgot what the name was, but they're not caterpillars.
Right, I saw a lot of
It'll come
those.
to me. Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. So I'm starting to pay attention more and be aware more of what's going on. And I do believe that there is a direct connection between us and nature. You remember that plant experiment we did?
Yes.
And I think that's when it really started to connect with me how everything on this planet is just interconnected
Mm-hmm.
if we would just pay attention. So, real quick, walk everybody through that plant experiment and what that did for you. I know there were some other people back then that were chiming in, but just share everybody that experience that you had.
So, I don't know. I've got feedback here, Ace. So, if anybody can hear it, sorry. But what I did was I went out and bought actually string bean seeds, and we plant two seeds in each pot, and we gave them to people to take with them. And what they were to do is with one pot to totally ignore it, not to talk to it, not to do anything to it. You could play, I think we had them play heavy like music to it. But one plant we just kind of ignored. The other plant we talk to every day. We send love to the plant. I actually played frequency music to the plant, and what happened was that the plant that we talked to and we were sending love to and playing music to um, started growing. The other plants started growing, but not as fulfilled as the other plant. When we got done, the plant that we talk to every day and the plant that we love, we actually got string beans off of that plant. The
Yeah.
other one was a plant, but that's all. We didn't get any. The leaves were not as green. So both plants did grow, but the plant that we sent love to and we talked to and played music to, that plant grew to like a, I think I had like 8 or 10 string beans actually from the plant, and the other one we didn't.
I mean, when we did the experiment, I knew what was going to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
seeing it totally different. We need to do it again. They need to do that in all the schools
Yeah.
because we had named a plant. I think we named the
Mm-hmm.
plant Monet.
Yeah.
We wrote it on the pot that it was in. And
Mm-hmm.
you're right. The one plant got nothing but positive love, positive affection, beautiful music. You know, the other plant got sunlight and water too, but nothing else.
Right.
But the plant that we gave all the love to me, grew like 3 times as fast. Like
Mm-hmm.
it broke ground, and don't quote me on this. We probably need to go back and look at the video, but I know that there was like a week, maybe about a week difference when Monet broke ground and the other plant broke down ground. It was like a week difference.
Yeah, I
It
remember it
was
was
just,
different. Yeah.
it was just like stupid different. And we need to do that experiment again because it just speaks to how connected we are. Here we have this intelligence called a plant that we just appreciate for its physical beauty and what it does. In this case, it just creates beans. But by us speaking to it, loving it, we literally amplified its growth. So there's a couple things happening here. If we have that type of power, then imagine how we speak and how we think it affects so many other areas of our lives. And that was just, we really need to do that experiment again.
You know what came to me now in thinking about that experiment that we did is, I know you're doing the series on self love, and I've been talking about unconditional love. And just thinking about that experiment, think about what you're speaking to yourself,
Yep.
the words that you're speaking to yourself, the thoughts that you have. You know, you're standing in the mirror and you're judging yourself and criticizing yourself versus standing in the mirror and saying, I love you, I appreciate you. The difference of the plant is the same thing that is happening for us. You know, thoughts are things and things become your reality. Well, if you keep speaking negative thoughts to yourself, you're going to get that negative things. And here's the thing that I've been looking at and researching is that words have vibration. So if words have vibration and you're constantly speaking negative things to yourself, the vibration that you're speaking comes along, there's other things that comes along in that vibration energy. So you're speaking negative things and then all of a sudden you are in a car accident or you fall down the steps or something and you wonder, well, what happened? Well, you're constantly speaking negative thoughts and things to yourself. And so you're bringing that negative vibration to yourself versus speaking love to yourself and appreciation to yourself and affirmations that just bring you joy. So there's a difference in being happy, being joyous, even the pleasure. You know, I ask people, what brings you happy? How are you pleasuring yourself? And people can't answer me. But let me ask, how was your day? It's like, "Rrr." And so just like the plant, You speak negative or you give it no attention, it's the same thing that's going to happen to our bodies. You speak positive, you're going to have a different results with our bodies. So we're no different than plants.
I think for many human beings, it comes down to awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is this. Like, I drink water, but we don't see the effects
Mm-hmm.
of what's taking place with the water that goes in us.
Right.
And I think if people really understood them saying, I had a horrible day, as an example, and
Mm-hmm.
how that vibration turns into an event,
Mm-hmm.
if people started to really put those connections together,
Mm-hmm.
people would be very careful what they speak and what they think.
Right.
It would be, but because they can't connect something that happens 2 days ago, 2 days from now, based on what they're saying now,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't see the connection, they're just like out here, and that's why I feel like that plant experiment was so powerful, because we took two things and we didn't even treat the other plant bad.
No.
We gave it the water, gave it the same sunlight, but it was the intention by naming the plant, by sending it love. That was all the difference. And like you said, our words carry vibration, our thoughts carry vibration. If we can only measure the outcomes
Mm-hmm.
and be able to link it, I think we would be better self-serving of ourselves and how we speak and how we think and how we do a lot of things in our lives. It would definitely be an eye-opener, but that should be a curriculum that's in all the schools to
Yeah.
help our kids understand how powerful not only their words are, but what setting an intention is all about, because they can physically see, like, oh wow, this is happening because of something that I said, or
Right.
something that I thought, or something that I wrote on the plant, like I love you, or naming the plant. Um, so yeah, we should do that. We should do another case study with people. We need to put that together.
You know,
So
the other thing that, as you were saying that, even before the child gets to the school, the parent, you know, telling the child, teaching them to say to themselves, I'm beautiful,
yep,
I'm important. My, a couple of my clients, when we have love yourself cards. So what they do is, in the kids lunchbox, they'll put an affirmation in there for them. So when they open up their lunchbox at school, there's this positive thing that's there for them, encouraging them, so that when that child gets to school and they open it up, oh wow, look at this, and when our kids go to school, the other thing is, when someone says something negative to them, that child knows within their own self, mm, whatever, because I know who I am. So they
right,
need that from home before they even get to school.
right.
I had a incident where one of my kids called me, and they were bullying her at school. And I said to her, I says, well, how do you feel about it? And what she said to me was, they just have low self esteem about themselves. I'm not thinking about them because I know who I am.
Oh, that's one of them Forever Phoenix kids.
Yes, that's one of my babies.
Raised in the energy of Forever Phoenix.
Right.
Wow. How old was she?
She's 8 now, I think. I think she's
See,
8.
that's powerful for an 8-year old to be
Yeah.
like they have low self-esteem, and to be able to identify
Mhm.
what it is and not be affected.
Right.
Uh, and that's what it's about.
Mhm.
And a lot of kids don't have that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of adults don't have it because they didn't have it as a child.
Correct. And then you have these parents parenting these kids,
Hmm.
and it's just a transfer of whatever they had or whatever they were
Hmm.
taught. And but it's not empowering. If anything, it's disempowering all the way around. So, well,
But I
Annette,
think
we
the
have,
other thing is that, and I challenge anybody listening to this broadcast for themselves, and if they have kids, and even grandparents with grandchildren, because we have grandparents that are raising kids also. But I challenge them to either in the morning or in the evening that everybody come together and speak positive things about yourself.
yeah,
You know, I love me because, you know, I'm beautiful. Just going around, the vibration around, everyone coming together and doing that is powerful for the family to recognize the beauty that's in the family. Doesn't matter what's outside, it's matter what's inside. So let's start speaking positive things to our own self and show our kids how to do that for themselves also.
yeah, you're right. Well, lady, it's about 30 minutes. I think we went over a little bit on time, but thank you for being here. And we'll respond to all the comments. I'll definitely make sure I do that. But thank you, Annette, for being here. Any closing words before we close out?
Love yourself.
Love yourself. And we will end with that. So, hey, stay tuned for another episode with the Oracle and the Ace Man. But we'll be back. And fun people, thanks for being here, lady. Thanks, Helga. I think, let me check who we have here. Oh, Shell Chambers. Shell, thanks for being here. She said she had an experience with I had a hawk with me in nature. That's pretty cool. So thanks for being here. And we will be back soon. And we'll see you all in the next video. All right, Annette. I'll talk to you a little bit
All
later.
right. Okay.
555, 55 tie, 555. Imagine that.
Oh, wow.
Awesome way to end.
Goodbye.
All right, we'll talk soon. All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.